Okay, so what I want to talk about in this video is how rough it's got to be an undesired man. Like, I don't think you guys understand. I know I talk about this topic pretty relatively, but like, dude, being an undesired guy, being a dude who women just don't, society don't want. Screw women. Like, honestly, that's probably the worst of the worst, but like, I mean, it doesn't sound like it could get a lot worse than that. But imagine being somebody that society just does not want to be around. So someone that society considers a drag to society, someone who society considers someone just not worthy of breathing the same level of oxygen that other people are, you know? And in a sense, it's just overall sad and borderline depressing to be in that reality. But it's like, it really must suck to just wake up every day knowing that nobody cares whether you live or die. No one cares whether you make it in this world or don't make it. It's like, in a weird way, wouldn't you rather be hated than have no one like desire to hate you? Like most people would rather have negative attention than no attention at all. So if you're somebody who's deprived of actual attention, if you're somebody who people don't even hate because they can't spare the energy to hate you because of the fact that you mean so little to them, be based off your appearance, that's gotta suck. Like being overall undesired by the world is something that is just insanity to me, because as someone who feels like to a certain extent that I have ascended, and in a sense that I know that I have ascended, in the sense that I get attraction and attention from not only women but people respect and just overall admire me as a person, it's like I cannot imagine waking up living the absolute alternative like situation in my reality. I just can't imagine waking up and being the polar opposite of the reality I have now, while at the same time watching someone in my position reap all the benefits and overall benefactors of my life while knowing that I'm going to lose in all the ways that that other person is winning. Like, for example, at my job, I work with multiple people who have just lost in life. They're now in like older, they're middle aged and they're done. They've messed up their entire life to the point where they're ugly, out of shape, old, rich, just done. And they're just like those washed up men in society that nobody likes or considers as even people. People consider them subhuman in a sense. And it's like, it's insane. It must be insane for those people who have a losing ticket to watch somebody like me who has a winning ticket. And like, I'm not even saying that from a place of ego. I'm saying that from a place of actual perspective. Think about it. It must like actually bother them to watch a person achieve everything that they are denied, and that person doesn't even work towards it. That person just exists, and therefore those benefits are just given to that person for existing. That must be overall just to witness another person just easily obtain the things that someone else has worked so hard for and is denied honestly scares me sometimes. It scares me to be in the position I'm in life, not because I'm not grateful, but because of the fact that other people may view my situation and grow this malice and hatred towards me for no apparent reason, simply because of the fact that I was chosen and they weren't. And I know that sounds insanely egocentric, but let's face it, in this world, you're either chosen or you're not chosen. And there's obviously people are going to say there's a middle ground of average people, but at the end of the day, there really is. Average and ugly goes hand in hand because you're either, like I said, chosen or not chosen. And if you're not chosen, it doesn't matter if you're average or ugly or, you're somewhere in the middle. You still weren't chosen. You still aren't going to ascend. So, in a sense, it's like, why even bother? Why does it even matter? And I just feel like if I had to wake up in a reality that I hated, in skin that I hated, and go to a job that I hated, and watch another person at that same job that I despise make that job into something that works for them while reaping the benefits of just existing because they look better, are better, and just overall just have everything on me and I can't do anything to change it. Like obviously, people say you can't compare yourself to other people. You should only compare yourself to you. And I live by that standard. But at the same time, I live by that standard in a sense that I view myself as high enough on the totem pole to where there aren't very many who are better than me. So it's easy for me to say that. I'm not saying that, like I said, from a place of being cocky. I'm saying that from a place of being real. It's like I live in a reality in which I consider myself high enough on the totem pole in society that I can compare myself to me and to those below me to give me strength. If you are trying to compare yourself to you and you just see someone who is like golden to you, you know what I mean? Like if you see somebody who is just overall better than you as a person, and you're looking at that person and you know that even if you like get in the best shape, if you do whatever you do, like at the age you're at, or just with looking the way you do, you will not be able to compete with that person in your lifetime. That person will always have a lifetime of just better fortune than you because of everything that they have: looks, money, status, intelligence, charm, conversation skills, whatever it may be. If that person is simply better than you and it's something you can't change, then you have to just sit there and take that. There's nothing more you can really do. You have to just be okay. Not okay, but you have to, even if you're not okay with it, it doesn't matter. You have to accept the fact that you cannot change and ever, like, you can change, but you'll never be better than that other person. And that's gotta kill you because a lot of people like to be positive thinkers in it. So, which actually, that's not true. A lot of people are very negative thinkers, but people like to have hope. People love hope. Hope sells. When people think that there's a way out, it sells. That's why you see on TikTok or Instagram all these like looks masters telling you that if you like do these facial exercises and stuff, that it's gonna benefit you. And it might change something. I don't know, maybe it will, maybe it probably won't. But it's just insane to me to like think that there is no hope for those who will not ascend and never will, because they have to deal with the reality that they will never obtain the life that I have obtained. And that's gotta suck for certain people because just imagine living in a world where hope doesn't exist. Your whole reality is based off of simple fact that no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you better yourself, there is someone who is just better than you. And that may be my ego talking, but I can't handle that. I can't handle not being the best. And that's why I strive so hard. But I also am smart enough and self aware enough to know that if I did not look the way I looked, and if I did not have the natural intelligence that I had, and it was learned behaviors and overall, not to say I didn't work very hard for the way I look, but if I didn't have the underlying bone structure that I have, and I wasn't able to actually start out with this base of genetics to get to where I am now, then I wouldn't be the best. And if I wasn't naturally gifted with the gift of intelligence, and I had to learn things the mechanical way in a sense that it was just retained and not actually understood, I wouldn't be as smart as I am because I wouldn't have that understanding. I would retain the information, but I wouldn't understand the information like many of you do. And to think that if I didn't have those two working for me, I would not be the best, no matter how hard I tried. But the fact that I do, and I know that I am because I do, makes me so ecstatic and happy every single day. And it's just insane to me because that level of happiness that I feel after ascending over another person is, I can only imagine what the opposite effect of that is: the sadness that another person watches as I ascend, knowing full well that their intelligence or their looks will never get them to the point that it's gotten me, no matter how hard they try whatsoever. Being an undesired man must be a fate worse than, like, it's got to be up there with starving children. And I know that's an extreme comparison, but honestly, it makes sense. Think about it. Being up there with starving children, being up there with people who live in third world countries, it makes sense because as I say, the struggle is a lot more dramatic for them and the struggle is a lot more apparent for them. Being an undesired man is pretty much like being homeless in a sense that everybody will reject you no matter where you go, whether it be a job, whether it be a date, whether it be your own family sometimes or friends. They will reject you because they don't see you as better than them. When a person sees you as better than them, they hate you, but they respect you. If a person sees you as worse than them, they hate you for the opposite reason and they do not respect you. Even though it's still hatred, it's different kinds of hatred. There's envious hatred and there's you're below me hatred. And I would rather people be envious of me than see me as below them. It's weird. It's like, in a weird way, I'm so blessed that I was given the power to be better than those around me because I don't know if I could take it. I don't know if my ego could take not being the best. I don't know if my ego could take not outperforming everyone and everything that I've ever done. And I know that sounds extreme, but I've taken things so far to the point where I know for a fact that in my orbit, I am better than every person at majority of things that I do compared to them because of the way I look and because of the way I think. And it's just insane to me because I know for a fact that I would not be able to handle not being the best. And if anybody I know has a mindset like me that has not ascended to the point that I have, is watching me do the things that I'm doing, even though they know very well that they'll never be able to achieve those same things no matter how hard they work, I, it scares me to think of the amount of rage that that must induce in them. Because if that were me, I would feel that rage tenfold. Being the best is something that I feel like I was designed to be, and I just can't imagine any other reality than the one I have right now. Hopefully, I never will have to.